Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Christmas in the 1950s, life in America. I mean, Christmas is obviously a thing that families have been doing for like generations and generations. So it's been a long sort of time tradition, but it's obviously changed over time. In the 1950s, I feel like we're now 74 years from that. Or when it's Christmas in 2024, it'll be 74 years from the 1950s or 1950, Christmas in 1950. But in terms of how different it will be, I guess just the presents. I assume the food will be somewhat similar in terms of like sort of traditional Christmas foods, but maybe not. I mean, 74 years is a pretty long time. I mean, that's like 3 generations of family, maybe even 4 for some people. So it will have changed over that time. But we're going to check this out. Hopefully, going to enjoy. And if you had Christmas, if you celebrated Christmas in the 1950s, maybe you'll be one to comment on this as well. But yeah, let's jump in. There's links also in the description to my Patreon where you can see reactions that I can't post to YouTube, movies, TV series, all that good stuff. Links are there. But let's check this out and see how Christmas has changed and what it was like in the 50s. I should have probably reacted to this on Christmas, but hey, I've seen this pop up now and I'm going to check it out, so.
Whether it's the tinseled trees, the heartfelt gifts, or just the general kind-hearted and simple spirit of the times, the 1950s was a decade that seemed to capture the true essence of Christmas. The joys of festive traditions like decorating the tree, gathering with family, and maybe even reading a Christmas classic were always much anticipated. Each year, many families would attend local parades where they would be greeted by Santa Claus. Some parades even featured balloons and floats inspired by the Macy's parade. These small-town parades would often kick off the holiday season and build excitement in the minds of kids and adults alike. Choosing the perfect Christmas tree was another tradition that many families made an effort to celebrate. Whether they were cutting...
I feel like in these times, the trees would have, more times than not, been real. Like nowadays, a lot more people will have fake trees, as I do. It's just easier. But I feel like in these times, it would have been a lot more common to have a real tree for Christmas.
down a fresh Scotch pine or selecting a new aluminum tree. Adding the decorations was always a highlight. During the 1950s, bubble lights were a popular choice, and once the lights warmed up the liquid, tiny bubbles would be released up the tube, bringing the tree to life.
They're very plain, but I guess that's how it was. I mean, I guess there wasn't all these different types of decorations for the tree, so it's all just that. But it would be cool to have them still, but just a few of them.
One of the things that changed drastically during the 1950s was consumerism. This was especially true when it came to the Christmas season, with ads flooding newspapers and magazines with the latest gadgets that men, women, and children needed for the holiday. Men were encouraged to spoil their wives with a practical gift that would make their life easier, while women were encouraged to buy men gifts that would help them relax after a hard day at work.
Record player.
For kids, it was all about the latest and greatest toys. Many well-known and must-have toys of the time were first introduced during this decade. Kids went nutty over Silly Putty when the novelty item debuted in 1950. When Hasbro introduced Mr. Potato Head in 1952,
Mr. Potato Head goes that far back. That is like the fact that that toy has been going on for 70 years now is. I don't know how popular it is now, but when I was growing up, Mr. Potato Head was still quite a popular thing. Maybe because of like Toy Story, but that's been going on for 70 plus years. God damn.
kids decorated the face of a real live potato rather than the more familiar plastic one.
Oh, it was a real potato.
In 1953, a man named Jack Odell learned that his daughter couldn't bring toys to school unless they were small enough to fit inside a matchbox. Thus, the Matchbox car was born. Play-Doh showed up in 1956. The Frisbee, originally called the Pluto Platter, in 1957. And the hula hoop came in 1958.
Damn. The hula hoop, classic again. And the frisbee as well. 50s was a good time for toys.
Dolls were also at the top of many Christmas lists. The Vogue doll company's Ginny dolls took girls by storm during the 1950s. Sweet Sue dolls, made by the American Character Doll Company, were also popular. But since the 1959 launch of Barbie, the doll world has never been the same. Usually, as Christmas drew closer, families would begin to gather to celebrate together. In those days, most family members lived within a few miles of each other, so large holiday gatherings were expected, with grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins all assembling together. For some families, Christmas Eve wouldn't be the same without a special story reading. After hanging the stockings and putting out a snack for Santa, mothers and fathers across the country might have read the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or the poem The Night Before Christmas, before tucking the kids into bed. The one thing that never changes as the years pass is the sense of wonder that the Christmas holiday brings. If you have your own memories or traditions of Christmas, I would love for you to share them in the comments. Please enjoy this remaining photo album from the past of Christmas during the 1950s.
So these are all from the 50s. I find it so cool that all these pictures have like been found or been kept. God, I just remember Christmas as a kid, man. It was so fun. Like, it was just the best day ever, man. Like, the idea of, like, believing in Santa as a kid is the most enjoyable thing, right? Look, you gotta do the best with what you could do. Small little tree there. Still doing the job. There's a big present. Oh no, I thought the tree there was a present there, but that's just where the bottom of the tree is. They've just wrapped it. Tree looks a bit wonky. It don't matter. That's how it was. Jeez, she's been spoiled. God damn, how many presents has she got? Tree's too tall. I feel that, man. Wait, what the? I was not expecting that. See, this in the 50s would have been a really cool present, man. I feel like this would have been quite rare as a kid to get like a big car thing like this. I'm so confused with this one. Are they outside? Looking in through the window. Look at the size of that tree. That's massive. And look at this amount of presents they got. I mean, I don't know. Are these all? Jesus Christ! I was gonna say were these all the same person's kids, but I guess it's like a group of friends, right? I mean, god damn, they got a huge ass tree. Look at all the tinsel there. Is that the last one? It is. Well, there we go. Christmas in 1950s America. I love these videos, man. Just looking back at just how it looked and just the differences and all these kinds of things. Hit the nail on the head, especially the part where families all lived within a few miles of each other. Those days are long gone. I mean, I remember my early days of Christmas going to my grandparents with my family, like my mum and my dad, my brothers or my siblings, my grandparents. Like all the dogs would be brought there, like the dogs from ours and the dogs at theirs, and it would just be the best Christmases all the time. And I remember this like hallway area, but it was massive. It's like a landing. Like their hall, like usually hallways from your downstairs to your upstairs is quite small, or in the UK it is. But it was this massive open area for this staircase that goes up there, and you had a massive tree that would sort of go up. It wasn't like your typical Christmas tree. It was like this weird tree that would sort of follow the staircase and go up. It was quite big, colourful, and then all these presents underneath. Yeah, those were the best Christmases, man. They really were, but they're long gone now. And I mean, that's life. But hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. And yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.